HappyThumbsGaming. Booyah Shaw.
Hey everybody, it's Brian with HappyThumbsGaming. Today we're checking out the walkthrough part 1 for level 9 Lakeside Resort in The Last of Us, where we find 12 artifacts, 2 comics, 1 training manual, 2 Firefly Pendants, 1 Shiv door, and 1 optional conversation. So it's winter. We've been requested that we play some of these cutscenes at a little bit closer to regular speed, but we sped it up a little bit, and we'll go ahead and shut our trap. Aww. How cute. Oh, yowzers, that is not excellent. And yikes, that's gotta hurt a little bit. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to pull the arrowhead back out like that, but I could be wrong. Don't have a lot of expertise with the bow nor arrows, so. Alright, you can see we tie off our horse. We see a big old buck, so we're gonna go try to get our buck on and shoot that bad boy. Alright, now that we have control of Ellie, let's go ahead and talk about these artifacts 67 through 75. The contents of Ellie's bag, if you examine. So, we're going to go through here and look at them all. And the goal is just to go straight down the list, pull them all out, move them around. If you can view them, view them. If you can spin them, spin them. If you can play them, play them. Do everything you can. Because I go through this, as you can see, and somehow one of these items does not count. I don't remember exactly which item it is, but I got in this weird loop with the game where I was like 2 levels ahead of where I am right now, and I realized that I was off on collectibles. So I came back to this level, and I got the 1 collectible I needed, which I believe was the recorder there, the little cassette player. As soon as I got that, my number did not change. It stayed the same, and it ended up basically knocking another one of my collectibles off the list. I have no idea why this happened. I didn't do any weird save stuff. All I did was restart this chapter and try to get the collectible. And when I did, it kicked the other one off. And it was ironic because I had already rendered and put up a video of me collecting that item in a previous video. So I knew that I not only had that item, but I knew that I'd already documented it, and I had video footage to prove it. How about that? Tongue twister for me. So, in the end, I had to go back and I had to get another note, and then I got that note, and it knocked another one off, and then when I got that final one, it actually stayed, and they all counted. So, I think my threshold was at like, I don't know, 62 or something like that right now. Or no, I guess it would have been 66, huh? Or 74. There we go. I'm a little bit off this morning. I apologize. But yeah, so I had 74 collectibles. By the end of my back and forth, I did have 75. And so yeah, so make sure that you get in there and do all that, which is why I have this extremely long labeling here for this, because truly this is really probably part of the problem why a lot of you are experiencing a glitch trophy. Now, if you have already verified that you have all of them, and I believe there's what, 85, 84? Again, I'm off this morning. I'll have to look real quick. All right, I'm back after a quick note check, and yes, it is actually 85, so my bad for not having that information ready for you, but essentially, you know, make sure that you have all 85 on your list. If you have all 85 on your list, then there's not a whole lot I can necessarily do for you. If you don't have 85 on your list, then what we can do is compare what items you have to the items that are on our text walkthrough on our website. Not always the easiest or the best way to do it, but at the same time, you know, when you got 85 items, there's only one real way to get in there and find out what is what, and that is to track them down one by one. So, unfortunately, they don't even capture them by levels or alphabetical order or anything like that. They're actually grabbed in the order that you grab them. So, that's how they're listed out, or at least that's how they worked for me. So, in a roundabout way, it might be kind of easy, but it might make it harder that way. So, all right, so we're still struggling miserably trying to take out this buck here, and we're getting pretty close. As you can see, we're following some blood trails, the little red spots, and some hoof prints. We're getting pretty close, and I do believe we pow him right there. And then here in a second, like I said, we'll be making our way up into a camp, and that'll change things. That changes the severe momentum of this. Right now, it's kind of just like open, and you know, you're free, and there's no pressure, and there's no, all you're trying to do is get some food to eat, which I guess is pressure in itself. But here in a second, we're going to have a little bit more heat on us, and that's not the kind of heat we like. It's not going to dry out this snow, that's for sure. All right, so big blood trails. We know we're getting close. Following it up the hill. Follow, follow, follow. All right, and you can see there is no blood up this way, so why am I running this way? Oh, trying to get a higher advantage point, but that didn't work out for me. So, you know, my best advice for hunting the deer is to just walk slowly. The more you run, the more likely he is to hear you. And, you know, and he can hear from quite a long ways away, actually. So, all right, so here we are. We're following him. At this point, we're not going to get to shoot him again. We've actually shot him enough. And I think that no matter what you get to this point, you might actually not get him, and you might have to fail and restart or something. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but we never failed. We're horrible. We shot him once, and that's all it apparently needed. And we follow him up to this camp. And then when we get to this camp, we find a new friend. Or so it would appear. Now, for those of you who played the Uncharted series, I'm curious to see if you recognize the voice of the character we're about to meet. And to be honest with you, I thought I had it spot on. I thought I knew who it was. I thought it was, you know, basically Trey Parker or Matt Stone. Oh, comic book, left side of the building. Woohoo! All right, so when you get to the building after getting to the little village, chasing the deer, go into the left side room, which is real easy to miss because the blood walks you right through it and right by. So make sure you tuck into that little cubby hole. There is a couple of other crafting items in there as well. So, all right, but back to my story. I thought for sure the voice was like Mr. Mackey, you know, or some sort of Trey Parker, Matt Stone creation because you listen to him and he just kind of sounds like one of them. Well, hello.
We just want to talk.
Any sudden moves and I put one right between your eyes. Ditto for buddy boy over there. What do you want?
I don't know about you, but if I was one of those two dudes, I wouldn't be all that scared.
Here's my friend James. From a larger group. Women, children. We're all very, very hungry.
So am I.
Yeah.
Women, children. All very
Don't
hungry.
fall for it, Ellie.
Well, maybe we could trade you for some of that meat there. What do you need?
All right, so truth be told, and what I was getting at was that it's not Matt Stone or Trey Parker. It's actually Nolan North.
Welcome to follow us.
If you guys don't know who Nolan North is, you have been living under a rock or do not care who makes the voices for your characters. He is, well, in everything pretty much. Most notably known for Nathan Drake or, what is it, Sam Bull. I can't think of his last name, but from the Splinter Cell section. So, anyways, yeah. Brain farts. But he's a very popular dude, and I gotta say, I recognized the voice, like I said, but I clearly thought it was somebody else. I did not know it was him. So, my faithful sidekick, HTG Doug, was actually the one that told me that, and he was curious. I think he was thinking kind of the same thing. Man, you sound like a South Park character. And then when he beat the game, which he beat it before me, he read the credits and then spoiled it for me. He came and told me that it was Nolan, punk. All right, so essentially here, this is a fairly lengthy cutscene, and I know I told you I'd be quiet and let him play, but that's just too boring for me to sit here and watch something. Especially when I record the audio, I have all other tracks muted, so I can't even hear what they're saying when I'm recording these. And I do that so that it doesn't have double audio feedback, which I'm sure you'd be grateful for if you knew how horrible it was. But anyway, so this is a long scene here. When we get back, we have a couple of defensive positions that we need to take. One here, and then we advance into another room. And neither of them are very fun. On the hard mode, on my first playthrough, I had very little ammo, very little health, and it was very frustrating. I think I died like 8 or 10 times in the next spot. I think I only died once in this section right here. This side wasn't bad because I had enough ammo. And when you get low on ammo in this particular room, I didn't have it happen in the next one. But in this particular room, if you get low on ammo, your buddy David there will actually give you some ammo. Not all the time. I wouldn't. Don't take me to the cleaners on that. But so yeah, just keep doing your best. Try not to miss. You know, I know it's timing is crucial, but your best bet is to be as patient as possible. And essentially, you'll get to a spot where you push this big metal box over, and yeah, if you notice, there's a giant hole in the window there, which allows a clicker to come grab you, and David saves you. So after that, we come to a whole nother spot of people rushing in. They come in from the left. And they come in from the right. And, you know, it's tough call. It's hard because you almost want to leave. You almost want to shoot them before they get in to help protect yourself and to be a little faster. But at the same time, they do drop ammo, as you can see, too. So you almost don't want them to be shot outside. And most importantly, take out the clickers first. The runners, although they can hurt you, they can grab onto you and you can free yourself, or David will shoot them off you, where the clickers will actually murder your ass. So, alright, after a couple waves of these guys, you will find yourself listening to David, and David says, "Come on, we gotta get out of here." And he sounds just like a South Park character when he does so. Here he goes. So he's going to go ahead and kick open this door. Feel free to shoot at the guys coming, but I think it's a waste of time, and I think that you should probably save your ammo. And you'll make it into another room. He'll slam the door shut. And before he does, though, you got to shoot a couple clickies. And clearly they can climb over, so I was waiting for that, but they don't. So we're going to switch and get our ammo a little bit more prepared and try to get everything ready. And then here we go. We walk into this next room here, and this is the second hold it down moment. And, oh, no, I take that back. I take that back. We got a whole little area to go through first. My bad. My bad. All right, so dip into the little cubby there, grab some collectiblage, and then I guess it was more craftage. And we'll run upstairs. What up, Master Kaka? And follow David all the way around. We get to a spot where we actually jump over and we fall. Seen this before, have we not? Yeah. All right, good thing we didn't get impaled, though, like our good buddy Joel. And now you can see a clicker running off, and we're stuck here. So this is a little tricky spot as well. As you can see, we had an edit there. You're going to want to use as many of your quiet killing items as possible. Use a brick to distract him if needed, and try to use your bow and arrow. It does take 2 solid shots with the bow and arrow with the clickers. Unless, of course, you've got your bow super powered up, which you may already, but you never know. And then, you know, a headshot might... I've had 1 or 2 go down with 1 headshot, but you got to get lucky. So plan on using 2 arrows per guy. Hopefully you have a couple of them. And there you can see right there, I got a 1 shot. But it's pretty tough. And then once you got these guys down, you're a little bit free to run around. There is some more guys up ahead, but... you know, you can drop down, and there is some crafting items down in the back corner here. And somewheres. There they go. And then we can make our way. This is kind of a nice shortcut if the guys are, if you haven't killed them up top, this is kind of a nice way to sneak by some of them. But as you can see, there is a guy down here as well. So I got really lucky and got another single shot to the dome. And then off in the corner, you can find a ladder, which will bring you up. And then one chases you, but booyakashow, Dave saves you. Thanks, Dave. And now we're up in this other little area up here where we're going to need to knock down a ladder so that he can climb up. Well, actually, so we can both climb up to the spot we need to go, because the area that's available to us is not the correct area. So you might want to take note that right under that platform over there that we were just looking at, you can walk under it and climb over. If you noticed about 10 seconds before this, there was a bad edit. That's because I climbed over, and it actually takes you back to that first area where the clickers are. And even though I had killed those clickers, they seem to be there again. So I'm not sure what that's all about, if there's some sort of a spot that you get to that actually reloads those clickers, if my game just glitched, or if I'm just a noob and somehow messed that up completely and did die or something. I don't know. Regardless, don't climb over that wall. You're going to want to get lifted up by David and then slowly progress along the grading up here, because there is a clicker up here with us. Now, there is one down below us as well, but he does not prove to be a threat until you drop down there. So make sure that you take out the clicker up top. Once you get all the way to the end, right past the clicker, and I'm going to go ahead and take the guy out down below me just because I'd already been killed by his ass once. And so we'll go ahead and duck into this left room rather than continuing along, because there's a Firefly Pendant in there. So what's up, DJ Howley? Notice I didn't call you DJ A-hole. I have to make reference to it, though. I can't let that go without being said. That's Urgent Fury Shane right there, for those of you who don't know. If you're unfamiliar with Urgent Fury, I suggest you pause this video right now, open a new tab, and go to urgentfury.com. Shane and Urgent Fury have been around for a long time, and they're actually kind of the pioneers of some early SOCOM TAC map tournaments. I shouldn't say kind of the pioneers of the TAC maps. They are the pioneers of the TAC map, but they are kind of the pioneers of just tactical gaming experience together, if you ask me. I was unfamiliar with anyone else before them. If somebody else stole the thunder before them, I'm sorry, I'm giving Urgent Fury credit, because they were the first people I knew to do anything that awesome. So anyways, back to the story here. This is the second area that you will hold it down and have a nice big old defense battle. And when you get in here, you follow him around, and the first thing you want to do is you're going to want to follow him up until you get to the high right up there, where you can actually see a dead body and have an optional conversation. Have an optional conversation. I've been getting quoted on my grammar lately, so I'm going to try to improve this so I don't have any ridiculousness, you know, like telling me I said across instead of across. Like, seriously, grammar police? Like, come on, man. I love you guys telling me when I make mistakes and better myself. But, like, when I say things like studdage, collectablage, rakin', you really going to call me on across? Why wouldn't you call me out on the things I actually made up? Anyways, so now that that little rant's over, you're going to collect everything you can, and then there's going to be a whole series of guys chasing you. There's a couple that come from down here first, and then there's a couple that drop in. So there's really no safe spot to be. My best piece of advice, again, is kill the clickers first and stay on the move as much as possible. Use David as bait when at all possible too. And to be completely honest with you, I think I died. Well, I know I died a few times, but I think I died and actually edited out a little bit of this sequence. So I apologize for that. The fight might be a little bit longer. You might experience 10 guys or so, and as opposed to the 3 or 4 you saw in the video. But there should be like 3 or 4 clickers and probably 6 or 7 runners, and then the bloater to finish it off. Now, when you finish it all off, you can come over here and tuck in, and there is another conversation here. But as you can see, it's not noted down in the bottom because for whatever reason, this is one of those conversations that does not count. Mainly because it's not optional per se. You actually have to complete this in order to advance. Otherwise, you will never make it to this next cutscene. And with that being said, I could mad movies it and sit in the back and make fun of it, but as you've already been told, I can't really hear what they're saying. So I'll just go ahead and shut my app, and we'll return when this long-ass cutscene's over.
Oh, no. No such thing as luck. Now, you see, I believe that everything happens for a reason.
Sure.
I do. And I can prove it to you. Now, this winter, that's been especially cruel. A few weeks back, I sent a group of men out to a nearby town to look for food. Only a few came back. They said that the others had been slaughtered by a crazy man. And get this, he's a crazy man traveling with a little girl. You see, everything happens for a reason. Don't get upset. It's not your fault. You're just a kid. James, lower the gun.
No way, David. I'm not gonna let her go.
Lower the gun. Now give her the medicine.
The others won't be happy about this.
Yeah, well, that's not your concern.
Move the fuck out of the way.
You won't survive long out there. I can't protect you.
Oh, thanks. Let's get out of here. Joel? I only managed to get a little bit of food. But I did get this. Move your arm. Here we go. Sorry. Hold on. That's it. You're gonna make it. Fuck. They tracked me. I'm gonna draw them away from here. I'll come back for you.
All right, I know I said I'd return when she's over, and I know it's a little premature, but... So basically what's going to happen here is we're going to sneak out because these fools are crazy. And on our way out, of course, as a young girl, we don't really think about checking our full surroundings. She's not used to checking her surroundings before pulling her cord, if you know what I'm saying. And so once we get grabbed up, go ahead and spam the square button and knock them off. If you do get grabbed at all along the way, make sure that you just continue to spam that square button and knock them off. Pretty simple through here. There is kind of a suggested path. You know, I could tell you left and right and this and that, but you could watch the video and see where we go. But essentially, if you see a guy left, go right. If you see a guy right, go left. Try to use the actual pieces of land and transportation along the path here to kind of shelter you and guard you from these guys shooting you, because I would imagine it's possible to get killed, but once you get to a certain point, they actually figured out, shoot the horse, and they shoot your horse and they knock you down, and oh, our stallion's down. No more wild stallion for us. Our noble steed is dead. What's up, Shinobi? What's up, Zeno? Been a while since I've seen you, buddy. Can't imagine you're watching this, but if you are, shout out. All right, so immediately duck into the house at the bottom of the hill once you get your horse taken from you. And, you know, you can search all you want in the house. There's not a whole lot to offer. We are playing on the hard difficulty, so if you're playing on a different difficulty, you might find items a little bit different than us. And hopefully if you're playing on an easier one, you see more. That's not always the case, though. But we will keep on keeping on. Now, just outside of this house to the right. Now, you can go a number of different ways. And, of course, there's a bunch of dudes out there. So watch out, because you will get attacked. But once you get to this gazebo on the right, watch the back side of it on the little bench there, because there is a nice little Firefly Pendant for you. Shout out to Gunslinger. Just say, what up, buddy? All right, as you watch me run into the gazebo, too, you probably noticed I had a horrible edit. Fact is, I died. You know, it happens. I was getting a little bit more careless towards the end. Honestly, just trying to hurry up and get it done for you guys so we can get these all up, and hopefully you can find these useful and get your 100% or your platinum trophies, depending on if you had luck with the trophies or not. I'm still trying to figure out, Doug and I are working every day trying to figure out new methods and resources, trying to figure out why these trophies are glitched and how we can help you guys get beyond that. Of course, we're waiting for a patch from Naughty Dog and Sony, but, you know, if we could find a fix before then, we'd rather do that, because realistically, all you need it to happen is that trophy to ring off once, and you never have to worry about it again, regardless of what happens with the game or the patch, because once you got that trophy, it's yours. Alright, so as you can tell, there's just a series of guys here as we continue to fight multiples. The further you get, there is a whole second group of them. So once you get this first area tangled, or untangled rather, you can go ahead and advance, but just be ready once you get to the restrooms and stuff on the right side up there. There will be some more bad guyage in your new future. Alright, plenty of med kits and other things along the way. Make sure you use whatever you can. And holy cow, my neighbors just turned on their air conditioning unit and it sounds like a bunch of nuts and bolts inside a fan. That is crazy. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. Pretty annoying on my end, I will tell you that. But, alright, so I think we're free and clear. We'll make sure that we find a med kit and we'll make our way around looking for any other collectible items or crafting items we can find. I can tell you that the next collectible item is going to be the last one for this area, and it's not for a little way. So if you want to use the quick fast-forward links, which I have not mentioned yet this video, feel free to do so down in the bottom. And alright, so once I got over here to the old snow conery, I believe that is when it queued the next set of guys for me. Maybe not. No. Keep in mind that I did die once or twice, so I've got a couple memories of things that you won't see. When I die, I always edit that out, as you know. Alright, so you can see I was right. There are some more guys over there. Definitely use your focus to see what's going on. I'm kind of not doing that right now. I think I may have queued the guys a little early, and I already dealt with them because of my blasting. If you do it right, you do it stealthily, if that's even a word too. And then by being stealth, you actually don't queue these other guys. So depending on how you go about it, if you go loud and proud, you might not have to deal with a second group up here. If you're quiet, you're more than likely going to have to deal with them. So now once you get up here, there's a left-hand side, and you can kind of shimmy around the corner. You cannot go any other way, but you might want to double check that you've got all the items floating around the area. Make sure you got that Firefly Pendant and any of the crafting items. Once you're good to go, go ahead and shimmy sham on over there. And keep on keeping on, making your way to the back. And you'll come up to a giant pipe in the wall here. And we'll go ahead and lay down and crawl through that pipe. Not to be confused with laying some pipe. That still would be illegal. We've already covered this, boys. Alright, crawl down into that hole. Take note of the minor drinking. Oh! She must have heard me putting it away like that. We're talking about being illegal, and yet here she is walking through with some alcohol. All right, as soon as you make it through that first pipe there, you're going to literally turn a left, bust a 180, and climb up onto this little scenic area with a couple benches. And while you're overlooking the water, make sure you pick up that comic there. And that will be all of the artifacts and collectibles for this level. So if you're just here for that, then you are done. You can move on to the next video. If you're stuck or whatever, here you go. Here's probably what you were looking for. There's a box blocking your path. You need to go out around the outside and pull out so you can slide in there. Not usually a recommendation from HTG to pull out. But when it allows you to slide in, yeah, buddy. All right, so anyways, here we are. We're at the big lodge. This must be the Lakeside Resort that the level is named after. And it was our experience that we had a couple groups of guys. It seemed as though there was 2 or 3 in this first one, and then potentially a second group of 2 or 3. Depending on how you guys are, how you're playing, what level you're on, whether you die or not, that might all play a factor in that. So just be ready, and of course take down everybody with as much stealth as possible so that you don't have to get shot at and go hide and whatnot. Look at that. There's some weird mechanics. Every once in a while you'll shoot another guy and he'll flop, a dead guy will flop around. I do like the fact that when I suck with an arrow and miss the dude, that he actually goes, huh? What was that? And he looks, because my shittiness is actually turning out to be awesomeness. You know what I mean? Alright, so here you can see I did have to pull out a gun and fire, and now I've queued some more guys. You know, again, it is possible that you might be able to only have to deal with 3 guys if you're stealth about it. We went loud and proud, so we won't be able to tell you that info or not. All right, another good tactic is to blast a dude with a bottle. As you can see, I threw it right by him that time, but sometimes just hitting them with the brick or the bottle is actually a good mechanic too, because then they have to deal with the shattering of the brick or the bottle and kind of stuns them for a second. So, all right, I'm sure you guys are wondering what the hell I'm doing right now. What up, Dougie? I'm actually looking for my way in. There's supposed to be a porch on the right that I climb up in on, but I couldn't find it. But there she blows. There's a little hole in the roof, and you'll find it on the kind of the back side of the building. You climb in. She worries about getting stuck, and the first thing you need to do is go back in that left corner and try to craft any items you have available, because you will be taking on a handful of baddies between now and the restaurant scene. Now, restaurant scene, not my favorite scene, but it is what it is. don't think you'll find anything else in this restaurant area. So, oh, that's right. There is a little bit of a basement office, as you can see, we just went down into. So, try to tuck in there, and maybe you'll find the crafting item you need to complete a med kit or something else that's awesome. A couple more items on the lobby desk here. And once you get right past the lobby desk, there's 2 guys peeping in the window on the right. So, feel free to take those guys out. I do believe they run around and attack you from the front if you do not. But, you know, hey, maybe you can leave them there, and maybe you can sneak by them and they don't even see you. I didn't know they were there at first, so I got called out right away. And I get not so lucky because apparently these dudes can take multiple bullets. But I'll step up to a little bit bigger gun and make it go bang here in a second. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and make our way. We literally get all the way to the restaurant exit, and spoiler alert, we open the door and we get kicked back in by somebody that we weren't expecting. So once you clear out everybody, keep using your focus to make sure that it is clear. Oh, look at that. The focus lied. There was a dude hiding behind that chair. I knew he was there, but I didn't know where he was. All right, so now we're free and clear. Nobody else in here. Go ahead and reload and make your way out, except for, like we already told you. Oh, snap. Wrapped up. Oh, yeah. Try to get him. Try to get him. Get him. Oh, we'll never know what happens. Why you gotta cut it like that? Well, you know why. Because for one, you're playing this game. You're watching the cutscenes. And 2, it's time to have some restaurant hide and seek. All right, that'll wrap up level 9 for The Last of Us Lakeside Resort walkthrough part 1. Part 2 is on its way. Never fear, it'll be here soon enough. A few of you have mentioned you've already platinumed the game. Head on over to our Facebook, post a picture, tweet it to us. You know, whatever's easier for you. But, you know, Facebook, Twitter are both available beyond our YouTube. And HappyThumbsGaming.com is available as well. So we've got all those nice little platforms. We want to hear what you have to say. We want to see what you got going on as long as it's appropriate. And, yeah, so as always, until next time. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum.